Hello, good afternoon, happy Tuesday, Facebook. As people roll on in, go ahead and say hello so I can acknowledge you and say hello to you. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly share this out, and then we're going to get started. Hopefully you guys can hear me fine. Ooh, I'm so cold. Okay. So let's go ahead and share this out. And if you're watching the replay, say hello as well too. I don't know. Okay, looked like I wasn't on. So let's go ahead and share this out. All right, so I see there's someone on. Hello, welcome. Say hello so I can acknowledge you and say hello to you. I can't see who it is that's on, so go ahead and say hi. All right, so I'm just going to share one more place and we're going to get started. So today I wanted to talk about the habits of sales and how to, like, what does that mean and what does that look like, and how do you even start to develop a habit around sales and how you're able to trigger long-term engagement and things like that. That's what I wanted to talk about today. So welcome if you're joining in for the first time or this was shared out with you. And if you guys are, as I'm going through this, if you are finding it valuable and you think this is something that a friend would find valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you go ahead and share it out with them. And the lighting is a little weird, but hopefully that makes it a little bit better. Go ahead and share that with them and let's get started. So here's the thing, like, a lot of people think that selling is, hi Paul, selling is bad, or selling is like that sleazy car salesman, or selling is like pushy, and sales is this and that, all these like negative things associated with sales. But it's really, like, for me, I've really had to be intentional about changing my mindset about sales, because here's the thing, if you don't have sales in your business, you don't have a business. You're running a nonprofit, right? So sales is key and crucial and critical to being able to run your business and for you to have a scalable and long-term business that that will be around for a long time. And for you, a lot of people as well, they say things like, oh, I want to make money first before I go ahead and invest in anything. And here's the thing, to be honest, sometimes you have to make necessary investments first before you see anything. And because what happens is when you make those necessary investments upfront in your business, and you know, what happens is you save yourself a lot of time and energy, and you are diminishing as much as possible that risk as well. So sales is important. So you have to spend money. Of course, a lot of people say, oh, you have to spend money. Do you have to spend money to make money? I mean, it's all relative, but sales is important, and you need to ensure that you're prioritizing sales. It is really windy. You're prioritizing sales for your business. So look at it. So one of the things that I've really had to work on in terms of shifting my mindset around sales is that selling is helping, right? So if whatever you have to offer people, whether it be a product or a service, you know, you have to really believe in that product or service. If you don't believe in it, then for you to be able to go out there and present it to someone and say, you know, this is why you should invest in this, or why, you know, why they should, you know, give you money in exchange for a reward or result, right? You have to strongly believe in it, and selling is helping. And that's something that I've really had to work on my mindset around when it comes to selling, and really cultivating that habit, those habits around thinking about that, you know, when I get on a sales call with someone or I'm engaging with someone, how is it that I'm going to help them? Because that's essentially what sales is. It's helping someone to, and when someone buys something from you, what they're essentially buying is that they're paying for a future version of themselves that's going to be better. So whether it's that you're going to help them save money, help them make more money, you're going to save them time, you're going to help them lose weight, whatever it is that you're offering, it's going to improve their lives. And that, if you strongly believe in your capability and your ability, whether through products or services, to do that, then that's selling, and selling is helping, and we need to shift our mindset around thinking that it's sleazy, or you don't want to be pushy. But if you don't ask, or if you don't make sales, you don't have a business, right? So even think about it, even take a step back. So from the entrepreneurial space, and even look at large companies, for instance. The people who make the most money in the large companies are usually people who bring in money to the company. So are usually the salespeople. So whether it be sales managers, whether it be on the ground people who are going out and selling, and even look at CEOs of big companies. They're generally really good at sales, like, because they've really been able to master that ability to engage with people, to invest in future versions of themselves as well. So think about selling as helping, and not think about it in a very negative light. So that's essentially what I'm trying to relate to you guys here. So one of the ways to really one of the ways that I've really learned to improve upon my selling habit, my sales skills, is really looking at it as a habit. Okay, so in order for people to buy something, take yourself out of the equation for a second, right? Because if you're going to help them to do something that is going to help them, then you're going to get a reward in return, right? So take a step back and think about, okay, what kind of support is it that I'm going to be able to provide to this person, or this whoever that ideal customer or client is? And there has to be a trigger, right? There has to be a trigger for them to take action. And that trigger could be internal, or it could be externally driven, right? And then there will be, along the way, there's going to be some rewards. So what is the results that they're going to be investing? What's that future version of themselves? What is that going to look like? Where are they right now? And how are they going to be, how is it that your product or service is going to provide that solution for them to be able to invest in that future version of themselves that they desire to have, right? Or they really believe that they're that much closer to achieving that future version of themselves, right? So there is that. So there's going to be that trigger, whether it's internally driven or it's going to be externally driven. Then there's going to be the rewards, like what rewards are associated with that. And of course, in the end, there's going to be an investment. So what does that investment look like? Whatever it is that the investment it is to either invest in your products or services, whatever it is that your business provides, there's going to be an investment, right? So there's going to be, maybe if you're like a service-based business like myself, it may be that you're going to be exchanging your time and your expertise for such a amount of dollars, right? Whatever that investment looks like. But you want to think about those internally and externally driven factors that gets people to buying from you, because of course it's definitely an emotional thing as well. But also you want to think about what are the external influences that prevents people or deter people from buying. So you want to be really clear about that, and what are some of those internal things as well. And here's the thing, there's going to be like there's this researcher that does a lot of work around like what gets people to buy things, what triggers them, what kind of psychological impacts that people have when it comes on to buying and sales, and just like the complex of all of those things. And his name is Nir Eyal. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and pop his name in the comment section, and you guys can check it out if you want to. But his name is Nir Eyal. So he talks about the drivers of desires, and I'm talking about it as well, referring some of his stuff in my book that I'm working on right now. And he talks about the drivers of desires, and how there's 3 principles behind the drivers of desires, and how there is things that people are willing to share and they're aware of, and things that they're aware of but they're not willing to share, and things that they're completely not aware of because they aren't that conscientious, or it's below that line of consciousness. And so think about those things as well too when it comes on to your products and services. And actually I'm putting together in the book that I'm working on right now, I'm putting together a an exercise for you guys to engage with that kind of content and how to really replicate that in your business as well. So those are the things that are also important, because we need to know what triggers people to take action and what triggers them not to take action as well. So thinking about those internal factors and as well as those externally driven motivations that people have as well. So those are some things to think about when you're really wanting to develop a better habit of selling, and also changing your mindset around how you are selling as well. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the rewards as well. A lot of times we know what are the internally driven things and the externally driven things, or the motivations behind people buying things, but then we completely miss out on how we can communicate those rewards that people are looking to have. So those are some things to be really mindful of. What kind of rewards is it that people are looking for? And one of the ways to ensure that you're hitting on those rewards in a way that's actually going to trigger people to buy is to speak to the conversations that they're already having in their heads, and know exactly, when you're putting together that piece of marketing material, which type of perfect customer is it that you're ultimately wanting to reach. So is it that you're trying to reach the informed customer, the afflicted customer, or the oblivious customer? So you want to get really, really clear on that as well. That's also going to be very key to being able to trigger those kind of conversations and to start to develop that, build up that conversation, but also trigger that action as well, for them to go ahead and hit that buy button, or to go and hit that subscribe now button, or whatever it is that you're ultimately wanting that action to be. So I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast. I hope you guys found it valuable, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.